Yeah, so I was watching this interview with the Sugar Hill Gang. You know what I'm saying? They were talking about early hip hop, and my man Big Bang Hank. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about how when they started the group, the Sugar Hill Gang, that they didn't have any money. That they were just regular guys. They were working at, I think he said, his uncle's pizza place or something like that. And he said that the things that they were talking about that they had in that song Rapper's Delight, he said, we didn't have any of that stuff. But then he said, before you know it, we had all of those things and more. Hey, yo, peace, peace. This your man, El Judge, coming right back at you, man, with some of that real talk real fast, man. Hey, man, the world been kind of like tripping lately, so it's kind of hard to be positive and be on the spiritual path. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to even think spiritually. You know what I'm saying? With all the things that's going on, but I guess that's part of the plan. You know what I'm saying? There's many different things happening at the same time. They're trying to keep as many of us distracted as possible. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at this crystal here. Yeah, but yeah, they're trying to keep as many of us distracted as possible. So you just gotta stay strong, man. I might give this one away, man. I might give this one to somebody real lucky on Facebook. Might get this, but yeah, you just gotta just pretty much, man, stay on your square. And then and a lot of the bickering. I did the thing uh, about a year ago about the bickering in the conscious community. But you know what? The bickering in the human family has to come to an end. Because and this is one thing that I want to try to get across today is and I'm guilty of this here, man. We've often picked with our Christian brothers and sisters. We look at them as so-called beneath the people in the metaphysical and spiritual movement. And simply to tell you the truth, man, that's wrong because we're not supposed to put down another person's uh, faith or religion or their belief. As long as their belief isn't doing something personally to you and harming you or harming someone you love or harming others, let them be. And a lot of times, the people who worship this character right here, the one that they call Jesus, they have that right. You know what I'm saying? Right there. That's the one who I really rock with. You know what I'm saying? That represents me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but the people who are on that, you know what I'm saying, they have that right to be on that. And we try to say that there's no power in that, but that's not true. That's not true. Anything that you believe in, you it becomes a source of your power. Anything that can bring the faith and the belief out of you can manipulate the power source that dwells within. Now, all of us, we watched that TV show called the Secret. Many of us have watched it. And remember the story that the guy said. The guy said he was in Africa and the guy's daughter was getting ready to go through some surgery. So then he said he gave the guy a rock. He said that the guy just needed something to have faith in, something to believe in. He said, here, you hold on to this doggone rock, and this rock is going to give you the power, and it's going to make sure that your daughter uh, come through the surgery safely. And he called it a prayer stone. The guy, he accepted the prayer stone and accepted the wisdom of the guy who said that it had power in it. He said the guy's daughter came through, and he said a year later, or 2 years later, he said that same African dude came back over to the Americas and presented the guy with a check. And then he said, what was this for? He said, man, he said, this check is for all of the doggone prayer stones that I sold. He said, man, these things are selling like hotcakes, and I made some amount of money, and here's your half of the money. So anything that you believe in, man, it's gonna work. It's gonna pull the magic up out of you. And see, once you've been studying all this stuff for so long, you get to the point to where you become a free. I call it a free seer. And my definition of a free seer is one who can see the magic in everything, and one who could freely pull it out of anything. That's it. Once you really get to understanding the source that dwells within, you can use your stuff any kind of way you want. And see, now a lot of people we run around here. I see y'all out there. You know what I'm saying? With your little Baphomet T-shirts on. I mean, I like those too, though. Don't get me wrong, but but you know what I'm saying. I see you with your Baphomet T-shirts on and your Baphomet necklaces and all that stuff, man. And a lot of times we do that for shock and awe. A lot of people they do that for shock and awe because they're just not. They're trying to. They knew that this Baphomet character at one time to them it meant the devil, but now they're trying to program their psyche into understanding that this thing only simply means uh, divine balance. And then a lot of people, man, they wear these things, man, because they seen Brother Panic and they seen Brother Bobby wearing them. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of like copycat. But Brother Bobby and Brother Panic, man, they wore those things because, well, their higher selves told them to wear them things. You see, you probably thought they told themselves to do that, huh? Silly rabbit. Nah, man, their higher selves told them to wear those symbols so that you yourself would become more immune and you would have a deeper understanding and you would get out of your Christian fears. But after you've gotten out of that, there's no need to walk around with that. Especially if you have grandparents and you have parents and stuff, and they may not understand that. Why would you want to wear that around them? No, you can hide your magic in Christianity. Do they not? Is it not a form of Christianity called what? Christian Science. And me myself, I'm a Rosicrucian, and I'm not just claiming a Rosicrucian. That's what I am, amongst other things. And I know where the magic is. A lot of us we think. So put it this way: some of the most powerful people that get things done behind the scenes, they're not walking around wearing Baphomet T-shirts and all that stuff, screaming out dark side and all that. They hiding their black asses up inside of the church and getting it done, casting spells that many of you are still trying to break. They getting it done. So with your spiritual maturity, and when you become more confident in you, so like I say, when you become more confident in you, there's no need for you to put on these masks and play games with it. Just go ahead and blend in with the people. When you're dealing with a brother who's in Islam, at that moment, because you have the knowledge of Islam, at that moment you're Muslim. When you're dealing with a person who's a Christian, at that moment, because you have the knowledge, you're a Christian. When you're dealing with someone who is a Buddhist, at that moment, because you have the knowledge of Buddha, you're a Buddhist. You should be able to be like a chameleon. You should be able to blend into any environment. That's true spiritual maturity. And like I said, the Jesus character, he's a mythological being. And we deal with mythology. We deal with mythology to get an understanding of a lot of metaphysical endeavors, might I say, for a lack of words. You know what I'm saying? We use mythology, man, to understand the powers that dwell within. The Superman characters, Hell, your Shiva characters. Hell, your doggone Baron Zombie characters. You know what I'm saying? These are all mythology. And we use this to empower ourselves. You know what I'm saying? To pull certain things up out of us. So how dare us, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking to myself too. How dare us put down the Christian for using the mythology of the Jesus? Even if they don't know it's really about the Christos or the crystalline energy, the Christ, they don't know it's really about that. Nevertheless, if they believe in that doggone Jesus character and they believe that there's power within that Jesus character, the faith and the power that dwells with them, the Jesus character becomes a magic wand to them. Because there's really no power in the magic wand. Or might I say, there's very little power in the magic wand. The magic wand is just a focal point. Now, of course, the reason why I said that there's very little power in the magic wand is because Hollywood, Hollywood, not Hollywood, the place, but Hollywood, like the wreaths that are made up that they make for Christmas that goes on your door. It's made out of the holly plant. So a lot of magicians or the so-called magi's back in the day, they would use Hollywood because it had a certain amount of electricity still within it. Hollywood, and there's another wood called, the name escapes me right now, Acacia wood. Yeah, you could put a dog on, it's not a Geiger meter, but that reads radiation, but you could put one of those electrometers on that bad boy and you can see a few amps coming up off of that bad boy because it still has electricity in it. But that's not the point. I was just trying to explain why I said it has little power. But anyway, let's get back on course, man. Forgive me. But yeah, man, we can't talk about the dog on the what I would call the first level or first graders of Christians who never made it to the third and fourth grade and beyond. Some people, and this is another thing. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. A lot of times we look at ourselves, man, and we be like, oh, look at them people down there. They sleep, they ain't woke, blah, 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 whatever words you choose. Well, let me tell you this here, man. Some of the people, man, here, man, they come here on spiritual vacation. Some of the people, man, in their last life, just a simple last life they lived, they was probably a high metaphysician or, you know what I'm saying, a yogi or something. And they came back, they said, you know what, man, I just want to come back, chill out, eat hot dogs and candy. I'm not going to deal with any spiritual stuff on this round. I'm just going to sit back and be a basic human. Yeah, it goes on like that too. Because, man, most of us are souls, man. We've been from the highest to high to the lowest of lows. Some of your lives, you're still paying for some of the things that you did in some of your past lives. And anyway, man, I hope I got everything across, man. And leave them Christians alone. Let them be. Just worry about who you are. Peace and blessings. My black ass is out.